Hey everybody, Mr. Nobody here, and today I want to go over on how to mod Skyrim, the basics anyway. So, you want to make a mod. What do you need in it? I mean, a lot does go into creating a mod. First, go ahead and create a new Word document just to go ahead and I'll just, I don't know, I'll just do modding basics. Alright. First thing you're going to want to do is when coming up with the mod, you want to have an idea. So that's going to be the first thing you're going to want. And within that idea, you're going to want to also figure out what type of mod you want, so do you want to do an asset? So I'll just put item to clothing. Or do you want it to be a place? So there's a lot of things. Also, do you want it to be an NPC or a reskin or something else along those lines? So that's what you do with the idea. So pretty much the who, what, where, when, why, how thing goes in with this. So that comes up with, after you figure all that out for your idea, number 2 are the concepts. Probably like wondering, what's all with concepts. So it's usually what's involved. That's usually what's going to be in with your concepts. Alright, just an idea. This is just still like a draft of a draft of a draft of a draft. That's what your concepts are. So you're going to go ahead and figure out exactly what, with whatever type you've done, you figure, what's going to be with it. What is it going to be? So is it going to be a map or a map? So pretty much land or interior type. So it's going to be, it's going to be a place design. So if that is design, there we go. So if it's that, I mean, keyboard don't want to function right. So, all right, concepts, place design, etc. So you're gonna want to come up with the drawing of it, the sketches at first, to drawings, that stuff. So the number thing you want to try to do with this, with concepts, is drawing of it. Yeah, if you're making a place, it's still a good idea to know what pieces you're going to do. So do a basic design. So therefore, when you do start making it, it doesn't have to be exactly to your drawing. So just a little sketch of a level that you want to do. Something like that. And where lines are going to blend. So say you go from a building to a cave or a mine. You're going to want to figure out what other things like dirt, dust, snow, where it converges. So you want to do that. also, you're going to want to make a manuscript or whatever. So you're going to want to do a script for any dialogues that you have. All right. So if you're making new characters or something like that, or a new level and adding an NPC or whatnot, you're gonna want to do that. It just makes it easier to go ahead and get that done. Once you get the idea and concepts done, 3 is the actual placement. So this is all before coming out doing the stuff on the online, or on the creation kit or whatever you're using. So you're going to want to figure out the placements. So if it's just assets, then how is the assets, etc., going to go into the world? That's where you're in the beginning with your concept. You're like, oh, maybe a courier can deliver a letter that can start a quest, or an NPC comes and does this and that, and so on and so forth. So we're just gonna do that, and that's where placement is. So you want to think of exactly where you want everything set up. Where is this weapon gonna be, or how is it gonna be delivered? Is it gonna be one of those things where a courier just delivers it to you and say, "Oh, here you go," and gives it to you as like some type of inheritance or something like that, or a reward or something? It's that. So once you get done with the placements where you want it and stuff, and you want to start, then you need to make sure you have all the correct software. Somewhere. Told you my keyboard's been acting up. So, yeah. I'm working on Windows. So that's what I have. But you're probably wondering exactly, what type of software will you need? Well, if you're just doing the regular thing, then you're going to want just Skyrim SE. You can get that from Steam. And you're going to want to go to get the creation kit. You can get that from Bethesda. It's a website. You just got to download the launchers from each. So, as I said, all you would have to do is for Skyrim, which you got to download Skyrim first. But you're going to want to go ahead, and I already got the Steam Workshop already added. So you're going to want to come in and just click on install Steam, set up an account, etc. And then from there you go and do your other things. Or download and pay for it. Then you're going to want to go to Bethesda's home. After you set up an account with them, you'll go ahead and do the launcher as well. So you can get the launcher and creation kit that way. And that's if you're just doing a simple level design, or just create your own type of thing. So, as I said, Skyrim SE creation kit. If you're doing old RIM, then it's regular Skyrim, and instead of looking for creation kit from Bethesda, you're going to want to look for the old RIM for Bethesda. So, and the modding process for that is a tad different. Could be a little easier or a little harder, but Skyrim SE has a better engine than the original Skyrim. So, but if you're gonna do more, then you're gonna want a texture editor. You're wondering like what? And no, this is not. This is a big no. No from Microsoft Paint. No, 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 no. You can't use this. You cannot. I mean, look, you go and save as. That's all you have. You might be like, oh, well, it's still good. No, 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 no. You can't do layers or anything like that. You get basic shapes. It's not good at all. And neither is Paint 3D. No, 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 and no. I don't care what you guys think, but no, you cannot no to this. Alright? No to that. So no Microsoft Paint, no Microsoft Paint 3D, so none of that. Instead, what I use is Paint.net. You get it from the website, and I have it in my YouTube video as well, but you're going to go to getpaint.net right there. And then you're going to just click download and whatever version. Then under the downloads, they say there's plugins, but you can also just click forum, and it's going to put you to the forums. Then you're going to look up and see plugins, publishing only. There's also tutorials, but you're going to want to go to plugins, and then you can do the plugin packs, and you can get a lot of good plugins, along with, if you wanted to, you can get shape plugins, where like Shape Creator and stuff like that. So go ahead and click like Start Here, and here offers you a way to create shapes. You just go into like, there it is, Custom Shape Maker plugin, and you just download this. That's all you do, is download that and install it like it says. So go ahead and show you a little bit of Paint.net. You can do layering. That's come standard. And if you wanted to save it, as long as you got the right plugin, you can save it under as a Photoshop, a .dds. I used to have also RAW along with a few others, but it's hard to do height maps, so I just got rid of that plugin. So there's that. I'm just going to cancel the save thing. When you want to make a shape, say you have a picture, all you then would have to do is go to your Shape Maker plugin and you can make a shape. I'll go ahead and show you a few shapes I've done, like, see, paw prints, scorpion. Yeah, that one took a while for me to do. Actually, it only took me about 30 minutes to go over a picture. Nightingale. Go ahead and make that bigger. The Hylian shield. Oop. So, yeah, it's not that bad. Oblivion. So, you got that. Like I said, you can layer it, you can merge layers, you can save it as a Photoshop. So you can work on it. If you own Photoshop and your friend doesn't, But they're the only computer you can work on with your Photoshop files. You, as long as you put that file type in and everything, you can work on Photoshop images on here. Not to mention there are tons of effects. One of the most important ones being, alright, for those who want to do textures, is go to, once you put it in, normal map, there we go, you can create your normals. I mean, you could also select them any way you want. So I'm going to go ahead and save there, just showing. Go and delete that. There. If I want to just have the outlines, I can just sit there and go through, or I could have selected it to just do it on its own. So, I mean, if I just want the edges of this. So it's not too hard. But you get the idea. So yes, this can help with normal maps. And help with doing a few other things. So this is good for a paint editor. So alright, that's it for the paint editor, or for a texture. A lot of people do use Gimp, but I got used to using paint.net. It depends on your preference. You're also, if you're wanting to make new assets besides a paint editor, you're going to want a mesh editor. And for me, a mesh editor is it's not cheap. So for me, I chose Blender. But if you're doing Skyrim SE or the regular, there's only one type of Blender you can get. Blender 2.49B. So, but there's also another thing you need to get for it beforehand. So, go ahead and show you that. Reason is Blender 2.4 is actually good with working with a certain Niftools. So you're going to want to go to Niftools first before anything. Before downloading Blender, you're going to want to go ahead and go to Niftools. So you're going to go ahead and click it, and you're going to see Blender Nif plugin. Alright, so you're also going to want NifSkope. That's another 3D. I'll show you that in a moment. But you're going to want this. And you're going to come down to download. And just go and click on that link I showed you. Reason you want Blender 2.49B is you're going to want to come to Blender Nib Scripts. And this one, in order, as you can see with prerequisites, you're going to want to download the Python. They give it to you. They also give you the link to Blender for Windows anyway. So y'all even, see, it already started downloading, but I'm not going to install it. But see, they already have those. In this, also, you're going to want, if you're making, is regular Skyrim. Whether you have Skyrim SE, you're going to still need regular Skyrim. Why? Because there is no Niftools for Blender 2.49B. So, you're stuck with this. The last time it was updated was January of 2016. Then they said they were going to start working on better stuff, but I've tried it, and it has not been working with the new Blender. The only reason I don't have it up and have the regular Blender, the 2.79, is because I had a computer problem and it deleted my Skyrim, my original. I had it on disk, and so now I need to get a new copy. Probably go online and look for it. But then I'll download all that again. But you're going to want it because the Blender 2.49b with the Niftools, will help with it. But you're also going to want to go in and find a BSA browser. So, along with all this, you're going to want to go ahead and just look up Blender 2.49b, and I'll just put Google search, and then, or not 2.49b, you're going to want to look up Niftools in Google search, and then follow all requirements for Blender 2.49b. That includes the Python, the Blender version 2.49b, and the other thing they had. So you're going to want those. Then you're also going to want for SE mesh, you're going to want to go ahead and get Skyrim Original, not SE. As long as it's not SE, you should be good. Then you're also going to want a BSA Reader. You can get the BSA and Nexus mods. So all you'd have to do is come in, go to nexusmods.com, then go to search, and for games, you're going to want to look up Skyrim, so you're going to have to go to S. And you're going to look up BSA. I have the Skyrim SE version because was trying to use that. I deleted everything that is for the Skyrim regular, but that, and what that does is it allows you to open, like, here's my data shortcut to my files. See how they have the BSAI thing on them? I can now, if I want, go to meshes, just click it and see BSA browser opened up. And I have it so I can look at my Skyrim SE files. I can extract them, which I haven't done in a while because of my computer messing up. As you can see, I don't have any set up, but BSA is definitely what you'll need for that. Skyrim Special Edition edit is so far has been pretty good. It actually you can get this on the Nexus. It actually I'll just go ahead and do Skyrim. Just click it. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. From the looks of it, it might. But oh no, finished. but it checks to see if a lot of things are, have a problem or not. So that's what that's good with. And then NifSkope opens up, is another 3D editor. I don't have anything for it right now, so nothing selected. That works with Skyrim SE and regular Skyrim, but the reason is the new Blender does not have the ability to read Nifs. I've tried. I'll even show you I've tried. Well, it's since I don't have that the BSA folders open anymore. But go to File, go to Use Preference. Once you put the Niftools plugin in, you're going to want to go to the add-ons and then import export. And let's see, should be here somewhere. There it is. So this is for Nif. And unfortunately, partially function port from 2.49 series still in progress. It doesn't work for the newest one. You have to have Blender 2.49, not 2.79. So I've tried, does not work. So what it is, you'll eventually can go into Blender, and then you would be able to go into File, Import, and then you'd be able to click on Nif. Then you'd be able to bring in the Skyrim piece, the regular Skyrim piece, and edit and stuff like that, and save as. Then when he did File, save as, well, here it's not letting me choose a thing, but you can change it up eventually. But then after all that, after you save it and stuff, you're gonna want to get a converter. I don't have one anymore either, but what it would do is convert Skyrim regular to Skyrim SE. So you would turn the assets from that would work in the regular Skyrim into the Skyrim SE. So then you can, after that, and you save them in a folder and whatnot, you can finally then start. Once you edit them, you can finally convert them over and place them into Skyrim SE. So, yeah, that's a lot of stuff for editing the mesh. But it's good in a lot of other aspects. Because, how should I put it? These are all individual things that help you. There is a lot more. There's a lot more on Nexus Mod. Reddit is a good place to go if you want to make a mod. They have great people. So once you finally get everything for your mod, all the software, all that, that's not including music makers and stuff like that for you to create your own custom stuff or get a original song and change it up, like DJ mix it to make it where it's not exact. So therefore, there's no real chance for a copyright claim unless they want to be, a pain. So there's still quite a few things you can still get, but this is just to help with the mods and stuff like that. Hardware, it's obvious. You're going to need a microphone and have a good computer that meets all the requirements. So pretty much microphone, an area when you're doing your microphone dialogue sessions. Make sure it's a nice, quiet place with a decent amount of acoustic, depending. But you want to make sure it's a good place that will not have any noise interruptions. So when it comes to sound and music, I mean, that's up to you. There's still a lot more out there, but this is just giving it a shot of being able to do create. There's difference between creating a simple mod of leveling just using the assets that is already in Skyrim, which then you don't need the editor or anything like that. Well, the exception of the texture editor for changing up the color of something. You don't really need to edit meshes. You just need a good paint editor. So, with that in mind, then for after you get all those, so just to recap, so far talked about ideas, where it's pretty much what type, etc., that you want, what type of mod, and what's with the mod. Then the concepts of it, drawing and script dialogue, meaning, talking, what you want them to say. You don't want to just sit there and go on the fly unless you're one of those geniuses. Then your idea of placement for it on the map of Skyrim. So where you want it in Skyrim. I mean, there is a lot of little open places, but you also got to take in consider when you make something, there's a chance that a mod has already been made for that same specific location. That's why sometimes when mods are put on open worlds, a lot of people like trying to make a cave or something around the edges or on a mountaintop. So there are a lot of mods you have to consider as well when you want to do your placement. But like I said, if it's assets, it shouldn't be too hard to just go into a dungeon that already exists and add on to it. Don't ever delete. Do not. Instead, go ahead and do X markers. So when the game starts, you can say a piece of hallway. Do X marker deactivate. So, like, say the X marker does not start until courier goes to player. Once courier goes to player, X marker deactivates item and places other item. So that just one-way hallway turned into a three-way hallway or something like that, or four-way or whatnot. So stuff like that. So because you don't ever want to delete. Deleting is bad. Very, very, very bad. Because somebody else could be depending on it. If you are worried about people messing with your building, like say you use the regular assets from Skyrim, and you're worried about another mod doing a change in graphics which could make your place look crappy because of the mod, like say you use a carpet or something so that you thought it would look really good, and then all of a sudden a mod comes up and fixes the carpet or the banners and stuff, and you wanted to have the castle look old, but instead, because of the mod, the banners and so on look fixed and new, so it was out of place. Then it would be a good idea to get the BSA Reader and copy all the stuff to a separate folder and reintroduce it as a separate, even though they're the same textures and everything, but reintroduce it and rename them all as a different texture. It is to make sure that when that mod goes in, it only affects for the other mods. So I'll just do a quick little show for the creation kit when it wants to load. Alright, so this is the creation kit for Skyrim SE. To start it, you would come in here, and then you would just double click what you want. Most people who make assets only do the first two because that's usually the mandatory. But if you got Skyrim SE, you can do this. If it's just regular Skyrim, most people, like I said, will do 2. But you can do 3 and so on. I'm not clicking this one because this was from the Creation Club. And I don't want to get that added to it. But you would sit there and do that. There is a way to make it to where you can load all of them at once. But I'll do that. Well, I already did that in another one of my videos. But it's just make sure, because when I showed you that list, whatever mod they have, they can edit those. But if you separate and copy and rename and reuse those assets from a different folder, they will not be affected by the mod, if that makes any sense. Whoops. So now we talked about software placements and hardware. I'll do a quick little hardware. Really, all you need for hardware is a PC that meets the requirements of what you want. So you're going to want a good graphics card, etc., processors, because you don't want to sit there and try to work on a mod and your computer's going like 1 frame a second or something like that. You're going to want something good. Then also, if you're doing dialogue and stuff, then you're going to want a microphone. A good one. Doesn't have to be perfect, but that's why I said, as long as it's a quiet area you go to, that's pretty much it. And then, of course, if you want a controller or something. So, go ahead and go to 6. Now, once you have all that down, it's time to, once you get all the pieces made, etc., because that's the whole point of getting all those things, unless you just want to go ahead and make a level or something, then it's the creation kits for SE. SE meaning Skyrim Special Edition. From there, you're just going to work on what you can. When the SE comes up, or the creation kit, I will show you. But that's pretty much it. And you place it to where you want it. You build what you decided you were going to build in those places. And that leaves over to 7, which you're probably wondering, alright, what's after the creation kit? Well, once you start placing stuff, actually, I should just do this. So you want to go ahead and do, in the creation kit, placement of placement of how should I word it? Placement of building or structure. That's if you need it. Otherwise, once you get your placement of building or structure, then it's place items. Then it's place, well, and I say place items. I should say place items like chairs and, you know, Claire's, you're right. Chairs and tables and benches and beds. And so place items, I'll just put big. So you're going to want to place all them. Crates, etc. Barrels, bookshelves, whatnot. You're not going to want to go ahead and place all your small detailed stuff yet. There's a reason for it. There is a creation kit study guide. There is. You would just go into, go online, and let's see if I can find it. Maybe I actually have marks. Yeah, there's a creation kit. I've been learning about scripting because that is definitely a major thing you're going to want to do. But you go into creationkit.com and just follow the examples. So you would start there, click start here, and it starts explaining how to install the creation kit and work on it. So it tells you pretty much place items like your big ones, then place the nav mesh, and then place the small items, then the lights. I'm having so much problems. Then then probably the NPCs and whatnot. So it all depends, but there's a lot of stuff for it. Then once you get all that down, you're gonna also want to start, depending on how much it is that you're putting in, you're gonna want to start doing scripting, which is using the papyrus script. So gonna want to start doing that, and that can be a handful. Like I said when I showed you the my bookmark section, there's so it's a kind of a pain in the butt to find, but once you actually find it, it goes over what type of thing you're looking for. So like add form list to your script, and which is great for creating item specific things. So, or add an object reference. Let's see, another good one is on activating an object, or where's the other one? On item added or on load. So like when someone walks into your place and it finally loads, that starts it. So that's what you can use for like say you have a script for characters and stuff like that, like a movie script. When it loads up that cell, it'll do whatever it is each time. So but yeah, well, that's on load for an object, but actors are pretty much objects. On menu open, on menu close, on object equipped for an actor, unequipped, So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff to go into one script. I'll go ahead and go to my one Reddit page just to show you some scripts, because whatever scripts I find or come up with that I think are useful, I add them to Reddit. So you can see not really many people. Like manual light switch, if you want to create, like, say, an active fireplace or something like that, that's what you do for manual, or a timed one, which is good if you want to have, like, say, a magical light hallway that lights up during certain times of the day. If you actually give your cell a certain time frame, how to make a container accept specific items. I'll click on that. So as you can see, form list property, auto. So like whatever your form list right here. So whatever form list you create, that's where you put the title right there of your form list. And then event on item added. If AK source container equals player reference, meaning that if it's the player, then if your form list has form, remove the item. And that's if it's true, if it's the item they want. Otherwise, if it's not the item they want, it will say invalid item. So then end if it's not the full correct. This is just one way, so it's not fully correct. It was just something that worked for me when I did it. Somebody helped me how to do how to enable and disable items using a container. This one actually is more correct. If, else, end if, meaning check that and end. So that's one set of rules. And then this is a second set of rules. So it goes through main container. And then if it's main container with item A, then X marker is disabled. Else, if it's this less than 1, then it's disabled, else enabled. So yeah, so X marker, enable, disable, depending. So if the item count is less than 1, X marker is disabled, which also disables the item you want to be seen. So say you have an item placement for a specific item form list, and you want to have like something activate when that item hits, then that's what you would do, and it would enable, disable. So say to have something magically appear. This is just a rough way of doing that. Also with how to transfer items from player inventory to container using an activator like an alchemy lab. A friend actually helped me and explained it. So, but you'd only use scripts if you actually wanted to do something. So there is a lot to it, and I'm not going to save that. So I'll just show you real quick the creation kit. There's interior cells, which, for example, we'll go ahead and do. Yeah, I want to keep that. So interior are those like inside buildings, etc. So you can see there is a ton of it. Then you get world spaces. These are all world spaces. All of them. From Skyrim, which is Tamriel. They just call it Tamriel. They don't call it Skyrim. To the each world of like inside the city and stuff like that. So, and the Soul Cairn, etc. See if I can think of a small one. Maybe Soul Cairn will work. We'll go ahead and just go to the first thing. It takes a while to load. So as you can see, a lot of border boxes and stuff like that. So, yeah, there's the stairs. Oh, wait, no, that's not the stairs. Where are the stairs? Well, it's going to take a while to load, so. But yeah, I just clicked on the first thing. So the stairs are probably way over there. Oh, that's them. It takes a while to get over there too, just using the mouse wheel, but you get the idea. That's what one of the world spaces are. Then you just go and find interiors. They're always at the very top. And you can go create your own interior by just copying one, duplicating it, and renaming it and stuff like that. Or you can go to world, click on world spaces, and new, and create another world like that. And then from there, you can start adding your items and stuff. So once you add them as resources into the thing, you'll start, see, right there, it's all static. Then there's, if you're looking for a specific type, so like say a weapon, well, you can do glass and do that, or if you have your own, you can sit there and do so. It depends, but go ahead and close that out. So one final recap, and then this session will be over for creating a mod. Sorry if it's so much, but yeah, see, I'm almost an hour in, and that was a lot of explaining. But for the final recap, you're going to do your ideas, like type, where you want it, etc. It's like a rough, really, really, really rough draft. Your concepts, drawing and dialogues and stuff like that if you want that. And your planning of it. You're going to want to make sure placement, everything that you've done in your concepts is good. So you want to know exactly where officially you want them. Then when you're ready to make your mod, you're going to want to make sure if it's just, like I said, if it's just Skyrim SE and building what already is in the game and not create your own assets, go to Steam, download the Steam launcher, get Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Then go to Bethesda, get the Bethesda .NET launcher, and get the creation kit. Then you're good to go. But if you want to add assets, you're going to need all I just said, plus the original Skyrim, plus the BSA Reader, because you're going to want to extract everything from the original Skyrim. You're also going to want NifSkope, which NifSkope's good for both Skyrim SE and that actually does read SE files, but it does not actually edit them very good. But it does edit them a little bit, like you can do check texture changes, etc. So there are some pluses for NifSkope if you want to do subtle changes, but model changes, no. Skin changes, yeah, it can do skin changes if you get the right texture stuff. So you're going to want regular Skyrim though for mesh editing, and you're going to want to follow, as I said, look up Niftools. Again, look up Niftools, and then look for Niftools for Blender 2.4. Did I say 4.9 or B? Yeah, and follow those prerequisites, which is going to ask you to get Python and Blender 2.49b and that stuff in order so it all works correctly. And then if you're going to want a paint editor or a texture editor, Paint.net or Gimp. I use Paint.net personally, as I said. And then there's just extra stuff to help you with doing your mods. So like I said, NifSkope, BSA browser is a must. NifSkope is a must. SSE edit is up to you. Then there are certain other things like Oscape and WinConvert and stuff like that. So there, and then that's just a key. That's just a controller mod. It's a keyboard emulator for controllers. So you can plug a controller in and say play World of Warcraft with a controller, because even though it's not designed for one, you can make your keys be like a keyboard, or your buttons on your controller act as though they're a key for a keyboard. So that's what I mean by keyboard editor. But yeah, other than that, then you just go in to the new Blender, make sure you got the Niftools and stuff, and added the plugin and everything like that. Make sure you got all the plugins for Paint.net or whatever other thing you want to use. Do not use Microsoft Paint or anything like that. That's standard. It's crap. And if you're wondering, yeah, I'm using Elgato for this. It's a game capture device. I also got sound capture, but connected this to my PC. Have one on my Xbox One and one for my Xbox 360 and Wii U. Eventually I'll get a Switch and start doing that. Used to have an RFI adapter for HDMI, but unfortunately that broke, so there's no chance of recording my old Sega and stuff like that. But anyway, alright everybody, I hope this was informative. Sorry if it was actually pretty boring, but it was the only thing I can actually think of to really talk about it. If you're wondering, like, what can Paint.net do for making textures and stuff, let's see if I have something that might have something. Okay. This is just something I worked on really fast in Paint.net. So you can see it looks like this is for a mod I'm working on. It's a concept right now of the symbol I want. So I'm going to retexture that disc that's in the game, in the creation kit for the mages. Also, I have Paint.net projects where I'm just working on some stuff. So go ahead and show you. Like, here's a quick thing I did. I actually have a video of it. It's me making a shape and using it and seeing me colored in. So I tried to make it metallic looking. Then I also have one that is kind of bright, but you get the idea. This is all from Paint.net. I have another one somewhere. I do not know where I placed it though. Is this it? Yeah, see, I wanted to make it look like it worn away. Like it's been... So Paint.net can do some pretty good stuff. Oh, that one. I used that for a book. Can't remember at one point, but yeah, those are just shapes that I showed you before. You just add them. I got my Paint.net shapes shortcut. So the nightingale symbol, you saw the Oblivion symbol, and there's the Empire symbol. Worked on those. And if you're wondering about Blender, like that's capable of, just for fun, I was trying to work on a bomb from Legend of Zelda in Blender. And there we go. As you can see, it's not bad. Not great, but still. Just working on the Oops. Ooh. Yeah, right now they're in separate pieces, so I can easily texture them. I'm not saving this, so it doesn't really matter too much if I mess up. Oh yeah, duh, there we go. That works better. Yeah, it doesn't like, oh, there we go. Yeah. There. But yeah, as you can see, it's alright. The original bomb from Legend of Zelda, the NES version. Uh, wow, so much of your time just to do a little comparison. Uh, Legend of Zelda NES items. See if they have the symbol bomb. See, I didn't curve it yet, but yeah. Oh, that's the Four Swords bomb. Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds, Breath of the Wild. Oh, wow, it's not even gonna show me the items, is it? I actually have one of those. It's kind of broken, and I got Link, the Adventures of Link, but oh well. You get the idea. You saw a few of the bombs. Would prefer to be able to show you guys more, but yeah. So once you get the mesh editor, texture editor, and all the pieces and stuff for it, including the original Skyrim, then you can start working on your pieces. I might go over a video for every little thing in the future, because that's what I plan on trying to do. But for now, I'm just explaining the best I can, and hopefully you guys take this to heart. But it's definitely good to try to understand all the basics. Go through the tutorials, learn your software. Then, after you do all that and you finally have everything, load up the creation kit. You're going to want to, if you're making assets, your own custom, figure out where exactly on the map you want to do it. Go in and and start creating your custom textures or redo meshes, etc. There are other tutorials online. Do not be afraid to go on Reddit and ask for help, or YouTube for another tutorial. This is not exactly, my best video. It's just me talking about the mod processing and the way I see it. I mean, there's a lot more that goes into it, but I'm trying to break it down as simple as possible. And once you get all that down, you go ahead and start doing your assets. Make sure it's all your pieces of your puzzle that you're creating is good to go. That textures are, virtually flawless. It might take you hours and hours and days to weeks to even months to just get that one piece of texture looking the way you want it. Then you're gonna, once you get all your pieces, go in the creation kit. Make sure all your assets are moved to the where they're supposed to go in the data folder for Skyrim SE. That's after you convert them, or if you're doing old RIM and stuff like that, then you can do it that way, but keep it in there. But yes, that's pretty much what you want to do. So once it's converted for SE purposes, then put them in the game or into the data folders. Go open the creation kit and just put all your pieces together. Build it. Then once you build it and everything looks good, for each piece that requires a script that you personally need to do or figure out, wait for last for those. Then do your scripts. Then do all your lighting. Because you don't want to just sit there and do a few things here and then lighting everywhere. If you need a script, do all your tools. And then the last thing you do is your scripting. And then do your testing, etc. And if it doesn't work, figure another way around it. So, alright. Well, the best way for me to explain it to you all. And I'm glad you've been watching and listening to this if you are still there at this time. But I'm grateful. It's also, once you're done with everything, you can go in and upload it for Bethesda, or if you used a different editor, more power to you. But I'm more familiar with how to use the creation kit stuff instead of Nexus mods. But it doesn't mean you can't turn it into a mod. Once you save it and it's good to go, instead of uploading it for Bethesda to use for their mods, just load it as a Nexus mod, I guess. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it, is the whole uploading process. If you want to share it. If not, you don't even have to fully have it done. Just put it in your game and there you go, because it's automatically in your game file. So you just turn it on from your mods list, because it's read as a mod anyway. But alright, everybody. Till next time. Hope this helps someone. Alright. Later. Miss nobody out. Peace.